Scott Hall was WWE royalty, so the entire industry was in shock when they heard he died from a heart attack. Bray Wyatt's situation was even more tragic as his heart failed due to COVID-related complications. Wyatt left a hole in our hearts just like the beloved Eddie Guerrero, who also died from heart failure. A heart attack can strike anybody without warning, and our favorite WWE superstars are not immune. In fact, some of them are at higher risk due to their lifestyle and training choices. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, whose real name was Wyndham Rotunda, was a force to be reckoned with in the WWE universe. Born into the legendary Rotunda wrestling family, Bray Wyatt was destined for greatness from the start. His father, Mike Rotunda, was a well-known wrestler, and his grandfather, Blackjack Mulligan, was a WWE Hall of Famer. Bray Wyatt made his WWE debut in 2009 under the ring name Husky Harris as part of the second season of NXT. He found himself in high-profile feuds with some of WWE's biggest stars, including John Cena, The Undertaker, and Roman Reigns. Bray Wyatt's career reached new heights when he captured the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber in February 2017. Behind the scenes, however, Bray Wyatt faced personal struggles and health issues. In 2020, the world was hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, and Bray Wyatt was not immune to its effects. He contracted the virus, and although he initially recovered, the complications from COVID-19 would ultimately lead to his untimely demise. On August 24, 2023, Bray Wyatt suffered a heart attack in his sleep and passed away at the age of 36. Unfortunately, Bray wasn't the only wrestler to die of a heart attack before 40, as you'll see in our next entry. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero was a true icon in the WWE. Born on October 9, 1967 in El Paso, Texas, Eddie came from the legendary Guerrero wrestling family. His father, Gory Guerrero, was a renowned wrestler and promoter, and his brothers Chavo, Hector, and Mando also made their marks in the wrestling industry. Eddie Guerrero began his wrestling career in Mexico, where he honed his craft and developed his high-flying technical style. His WWE debut came in 2000, and he quickly made an impact with his Latino Heat persona. One of Eddie's most memorable feuds was with Rey Mysterio. Their matches were a masterclass in high-flying, technical wrestling, and their chemistry in the ring was undeniable. His career reached its pinnacle on February 15, 2004 at No Way Out, when he defeated Brock Lesnar to win the WWE Championship. Unfortunately, Eddie battled personal demons, including substance abuse and addiction. His journey to sobriety was a long and difficult one, but he emerged stronger and more determined than ever. Tragically, Eddie Guerrero's life was cut short on November 13, 2005. He was found unresponsive in his hotel room and was pronounced dead at the age of 38. The cause of death was acute heart failure due to atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Eddie's substance abuse problem most likely affected his heart, as it did our next wrestler. Umaga. Umaga, whose real name was Edward Smith Fatu, was a formidable force in the WWE, known for his intense and intimidating presence in the ring. Born on March 28, 1973, Umaga was a proud member of the legendary Anoa'i family, a Samoan wrestling dynasty that has produced some of the most iconic figures in professional wrestling. His lineage included wrestling greats such as The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Yokozuna. Umaga's journey in professional wrestling began in the 1990s, when he initially wrestled under various ring names, including Ekmo and Jamal. In 2006, Edward Fatu was reintroduced to WWE fans as Umaga, a savage and unstoppable Samoan warrior. One of Umaga's most notable matches was at WrestleMania 23, where he faced off against Bobby Lashley in the Battle of the Billionaires match. Despite his talent, Umaga faced personal challenges, including issues with substance abuse. In 2009, Umaga was released from WWE, and he continued to wrestle on the independent circuit. Tragically, on December 4, 2009, Umaga was found unresponsive at his home. The cause of death was a heart attack, and he was only 36 years old. Unfortunately, Umaga wasn't the only member of the Anoa'i family who died before age 40. Yokozuna. Yokozuna, whose real name was Rodney Anoa'i, was a towering figure in the WWE and a member of the illustrious Anoa'i wrestling family. Born on October 2, 1966, in San Francisco, California, Yokozuna's Samoan heritage and wrestling lineage set the stage for his remarkable career. Yokozuna's journey to WWE stardom began in the late 1980s when he started wrestling under various ring names in different promotions. However, it was his transformation into the character of Yokozuna that truly catapulted him to fame. Standing at 6 feet feet 4 inches and weighing over 500 pounds, Yokozuna was an unstoppable force in the ring. Yokozuna's career reached its zenith in 1993 when he won the Royal Rumble match, earning a shot at the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 9. Despite his success in the ring, Yokozuna struggled with weight issues and the physical demands of professional wrestling. In 1996, Yokozuna was released from WWE due to concerns about his health and weight. Tragically, on October 23, 2000, Yokozuna passed away at the age of 34. Initially believed to be a heart attack, the cause of death was later determined to be pulmonary edema, a condition where fluid accumulates in the lungs. Our next was also as tragic as the death of Yokozuna. Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman started his wrestling career in 1986, working in independent promotions and regional territories before signing with WCW in 1989. He formed successful tag teams with Tom Zenk and Steve Austin, winning the WCW World Tag Team Championship twice. Pillman also had a successful singles career, winning the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship and WCW Light Heavyweight Championship. In 1996, he joined the WWF, debuting as a loose cannon character and engaging in notable feuds with Steve Austin, Bret Hart, and Goldust. Pillman had a history of heart problems, including a condition called mitral valve prolapse, which he was born with. He also had atherosclerosis, a condition where plaque builds up in the arteries, leading to their hardening and narrowing. In the months leading up to his death, Pillman had been experiencing symptoms such as chest pain, shortness of breath, and fatigue, but he had not sought medical attention. On October 5, 1997, Pillman was found unresponsive in his hotel room in Bloomington, Minnesota, where he was scheduled to wrestle for the WWF, now WWE, at the Met Center. The autopsy report confirmed that Pillman's death was caused by a heart attack, specifically a coronary thrombosis. He was just 35 but made a mark in the industry like our next wrestler. The Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior, born James Bryan Hellwig, was an American professional wrestler, best known for his time in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE. Born on June 16, 1959, in Crawfordsville, Indiana, Hellwig began his wrestling career in 1987, competing in various independent promotions and regional territories. He joined the WWF in 1987, debuting as the Ultimate Warrior, a face-painted, muscular, and charismatic wrestler. The Ultimate Warrior's WWF career was marked by intense feuds with wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, and the Honky Tonk Man. He won the WWF Intercontinental Championship and WWF Championship and main evented WrestleMania the 6th and WrestleMania 7. He was known for his energetic entrances, intense matches, and distinctive face paint. After leaving the WWF in 1991, Warrior competed in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and made sporadic appearances for the WWF-WWE. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2014. Tragically, the Ultimate Warrior died on April 8, 2014, at the age of 54 due to a heart attack caused by atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. His death occurred just days after his Hall of Fame induction and a WWE Raw appearance. Not all heart attacks end in death. Some wrestlers recovered fully. John Rodriguez, Johnny Rods. John Rodriguez, better known by his ring name Johnny Rods, was a professional wrestler from New York City. Nicknamed The Unpredictable, Rods had a long and storied career, competing against legendary wrestlers like Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper. Johnny Rods' feud with Hulk Hogan in the early 1980s was a significant moment in his career. At the time, Hogan was a rising star, and Rods was an established veteran. Their matches were intense and closely contested, with Rods pushing Hogan to his limits. Although Rods ultimately came up short against Hogan, the feud helped establish Hogan as a top-tier talent. Johnny's career spanned multiple decades, during which he competed in various regional promotions and eventually made his way to the WWF, now WWE. He was known for his unpredictable in-ring style, which earned him his nickname. Rods' legacy extends beyond his own accomplishments, as he also trained and mentored many younger wrestlers. At the age of 81, Rods suffered a silent heart attack, which left him with only 15% heart function. This was a significant health setback for the veteran wrestler. Despite his advanced age and health issues, Rods was still active in the industry. He was a WWE Hall of Famer, recognized for his contributions to the sport. Johnny's heart attack was tragic, but at least it wasn't drug-induced. Louis Spicolli. Louis Spicolli was born on February 10, 1971 in San Pedro, California. He began his wrestling career in the early 1990s, working for various independent promotions and regional territories. Spicoli's breakthrough came in 1996 when he joined Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, where he became known for his wild and unpredictable matches. He formed a tag team with Raven, and they engaged in a memorable feud with the Pitbulls. In addition to his ECW stint, Spicoli also wrestled for World Championship Wrestling, WCW, WCW, World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, United Wrestling Federation, UWF, Asistencia Asesoria y Administration, ATA, and Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, FMW. Lpicoli's in-ring style was characterized by his high-flying moves, technical grappling skills, and willingness to take risks. He was also known for his charismatic personality and ability to connect with the crowd. Outside of wrestling, however, Lpicoli struggled with drug addiction and personal demons. His death on February 15, 1998 was a terrible tragedy. Lpicoli died from a drug-induced heart attack. Unfortunately, Lpicoli wasn't the only WWE wrestler who suffered from drug addiction, as you'll see shortly. Lance Cade. Lance Cade's real name was Lance McNaught. Born on March 2, 1981, in San Angelo, Texas, McNaught began his wrestling career in the early 2000s, working for regional promotions and eventually signing with WWE in 2003. He was assigned to Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW, for development, where he honed his skills and formed a tag team with Trevor Murdoch. In 2005, Cade and Murdoch were called up to the WWE main roster, competing in the tag team division. They had notable feuds with teams like the Highlanders, The Big Show, and Kane. After leaving WWE in 2008, Cade wrestled for various independent promotions and overseas for All Japan Pro Wrestling, AJPW. His last match in WWE was against Shawn Michaels on the August 25, 2008 episode of Monday Night Raw. The match was a singles contest, with Cade facing off against the veteran Shawn Michaels. Although Cade put up a good fight, Michaels ultimately emerged victorious. Cade's release from WWE was reportedly due to his struggles with substance abuse and personal issues. Tragically, Lance Cade died on August 13, 2010, at the age of 29, due to a heart attack caused by a drug overdose. Wrestlers don't only get heart attacks outside the ring. Unfortunately, it happens in the ring sometimes. Silver King. Silver King's wrestling journey began in the vibrant world of Mexican lucha libre, where his father, the legendary Dr. Wagner, reigned supreme. Caesar Baron, aka Silver King, followed in his father's footsteps, donning a gleaming silver mask and honing his technical grappling skills. As he rose through the ranks, Silver King's charisma and in-ring prowess caught the attention of global promotions. He ventured into World Championship Wrestling, WCW, showcasing his talents alongside international stars. In Mexico, Silver King formed a dynamic duo with El Texano, conquering tag team championships and thrilling fans with their high-flying maneuvers and seamless teamwork. Beyond the ring, Silver King explored acting, appearing in films and TV shows, including the 2006 comedy Nacho Libre alongside Jack Black. Tragedy struck on May 11, 2019, when Silver King collapsed during a match in London, succumbing to a heart attack at just 51 years old. The wrestling world mourned the loss of a beloved figure, whose legacy continues to inspire new generations of luchadors and fans alike. While our next wrestler didn't die in the ring, his promising career was cut short after he suffered a heart attack. Mike Lazansky. Mike Lazansky's remarkable journey began in the Soviet Union, where he forged a reputation as a formidable weightlifter and powerlifter. His impressive strength and athleticism caught the attention of professional wrestling scouts, and he soon found himself stepping into the ring. He wrestled in various promotions, including New Japan Pro Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling, World Wrestling Federation, All Japan Pro Wrestling, European Wrestling Promotion, and Catch Wrestling Association. As the Russian Bear, Lazansky unleashed his fury on opponents, leveraging his incredible power to overwhelm even the toughest foes. His intense matches against legends like Stan Hansen, Vader, and Yokozuna are still talked about today. One time, Mike Lazansky stepped into the ring against the formidable Vader. Despite the loss, Lazansky earned respect and admiration from the crowd and his peers, but Lazansky's wrestling career was abruptly halted in 1994 when he suffered a heart attack during a match in Japan. The incident was a wake-up call, forcing him to reevaluate his priorities and eventually retire from professional wrestling. After recovering from his health scare, Lazansky returned to Russia and transitioned into a successful business career. Tragically, our next experienced wrestler wasn't so unfortunate. Jim Hardy. James Jim Hardy was an American professional wrestler who competed in the late 1980s and 1990s. He began his career in 1987, working in the independent circuit under various ring names, including Jim Hardy and The Equalizer. In 1995, Hardy signed with the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where he wrestled against notable talent like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Diesel. He faced Bret Hart on WWF Superstars in May 1995. Hardy mounted a brief comeback, but ultimately submitted to Hart's sharpshooter. Despite the loss, Hardy earned respect for his determination against one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Although he didn't hold any major WWF championships, he gained experience and exposure during his 2-year tenure. After leaving the WWF in 1997, Hardy returned to the independent circuit, competing in regional promotions and holding various titles. Following his retirement from wrestling, he worked as a personal trainer and made sporadic appearances at wrestling events and reunions. Tragically, Jim Hardy suffered a heart attack on March 30th, 2020, and passed away at the age of 52. Unfortunately, our next wrestler also died in his 50s. Dynamite Kid. Tom Billington, better known as Dynamite Kid, was a trailblazing British professional wrestler who left an unforgettable mark on the sport. Born on December 12, 1958 in Golborne, Lancashire, England, he began his wrestling journey in 1975, quickly making a name for himself with his explosive moves and charismatic personality. As one half of the British Bulldogs alongside Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid formed a formidable tag team that captivated audiences worldwide. Their notable feuds with wrestling legends like Bret Hart and Randy Savage cemented their status as fan favorites. The duo's crowning achievement came when they won the WWF Tag Team Championship. However, Dynamite Kid's career was tragically cut short due to a severe back injury suffered in 1986. This debilitating setback led to a decline in his wrestling appearances and eventually forced him into retirement. In his post-wrestling life, Dynamite Kid struggled with various health issues, including heart problems, which confined him to a wheelchair. Dynamite Kid passed away on December 5, 2018, at the age of 59. His case was just as tragic as the next wrestler on our list. Scott Hall. The legendary professional wrestler known for his iconic persona, Razor Ramon, faced a life-threatening health crisis on March 12, 2022. After undergoing hip replacement surgery at a hospital in Marietta, Georgia, Hall's condition took a drastic turn. A blood clot triggered a heart attack, and his heart stopped beating for a short, terrifying moment. Scott Kevin Nash kept fans informed, sharing updates on Hall's critical status. The medical team fought to save Hall's life, and thankfully, they managed to revive him. Hall's road to recovery was long and arduous, complicated by his history of substance abuse and health issues. He had struggled with addiction and personal demons throughout his career. With a span of over 2 decades, Hall's accomplishments are a remarkable journey through the sport's most iconic promotions. Hall's early days in the American Wrestling Association, AWA, laid the foundation for his future success, as he claimed the AWA World Heavyweight Championship and AWA World Tag Team Championship. His subsequent move to the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, marked the beginning of his rise to superstardom, much like our next wrestler, Eddie Graham. Eddie Graham was an American professional wrestler, promoter, and booker. He is best known for his work in the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, and his role as the promoter of championship wrestling from Florida. Graham began his wrestling career in the 1950s, competing in various regional promotions. He eventually became a successful wrestler, winning multiple championships, including the NWA Southern Heavyweight Championship and the NWA World Tag Team Championship. In the 1960s, Graham transitioned to promoting and booking, becoming the owner of Championship Wrestling from Florida. He was also known for his innovative approach to booking, introducing concepts like the Brass Knuckles Championship and the Loser Leaves Town match. Tragically, Eddie Graham took his own life on January 21, 1985, at the age of 55, due to a combination of personal and financial struggles. Eddie Graham suffered a heart attack on January 14, 1985, just 7 days before his passing. The heart attack was a significant factor in his deteriorating health and state of mind, ultimately contributing to his tragic decision to take his own life. Our next wrestler didn't take his own life, but he did suffer a heart attack. Balls Mahoney. Balls Mahoney was a force to be reckoned with in professional wrestling. With a career spanning over 2 decades, he left an unforgettable mark on the industry. Mahoney's wrestling style was a unique blend of intensity, aggression, and fearlessness. Mahoney's journey began in the late 1990s, competing in various independent promotions. He eventually found his home in Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, where he formed a formidable tag team with Masato Tanaka. In 2005, Mahoney joined World Wrestling Entertainment's WWE ECW brand. Mahoney's career spanned over 2 decades, earning him multiple championships and a loyal fan base. He inspired a generation of wrestlers and left a lasting impact on the sport. After leaving WWE, Mahoney returned to the independent circuit, still competing with the same intensity and passion that defined his career. However, on April 12, 2016, tragedy struck. Mahoney suffered a heart attack at his home in New Jersey. He was rushed to the hospital immediately, but the doctors were unable to revive him. The superstar was just 44 years old when he died. Our next This wrestler lived a lot longer, but the price for his illustrious career was a heavy one. Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka's wrestling career spanned over 2 decades, with his most notable stint in the WWF from 1982 to 1985. He became a fan favorite due to his charismatic personality, athleticism, and signature moves. His iconic Superfly Splash in 1983 cemented his status as a legend, and he engaged in epic feuds with wrestling icons like Don Muraco, Bob Backlund, and Roddy Piper. After leaving the WWF, Snuka competed in various independent promotions and made sporadic returns to the WWE. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 1996, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest high flyers in wrestling history. However, Snuka's life was marked by personal struggles and health issues. In 2015, he was diagnosed with dementia and chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, a brain disease caused by repeated head trauma. His health declined rapidly, and he suffered a series of strokes and seizures. On January 15, 2017, Jimmy Snuka passed away at the age of 73 due to complications from a heart attack. WWE superstars aren't the only ones who have suffered heart attacks. Wrestlers from different promotions have suffered the same fate, as you'll see shortly. King Kong Kirk. King Kong Kirk, whose real name was Malcolm Kirk, was a formidable and imposing figure in professional wrestling. Born on December 18, 1935, in Featherstone, West Yorkshire, England, King Kong. Kirk's journey into the wrestling world began in the 1960s. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches and weighing over 300 pounds, Kirk's massive size and powerful presence made him a force to be reckoned with in the ring. King Kong Kirk's wrestling career was characterized by his brute strength and aggressive in-ring style. He often played the role of the villain, using his size and power to dominate his opponents. His matches were hard-hitting and intense, showcasing his ability to overpower even the toughest competitors. One of King Kong Kirk's most notable feuds was with Big Daddy, a beloved British wrestling icon. Tragically, King Kong Kirk's life came to a sudden and heartbreaking end on August 23, 1987. During a match against Big Daddy at the Hippodrome in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk, King Kong Kirk suffered a heart attack in the ring. Despite immediate efforts to revive him, he was pronounced dead shortly after. He was 51 years old. Mr. Nebla. Mr. Nebla, a renowned Mexican professional wrestler, has had a storied career marked by thrilling matches, championship titles, and a remarkable comeback from a life-threatening health scare. Mr. Nebla and Perro Aguayo Jr. clashed in a brutal and intense match on August 1, 2004, at Arena Naucalpan. The two luchadors exchanged blows, using chairs and tables to inflict damage. Nebla's hardcore style prevailed, earning him the win. With a career spanning over 2 decades, Mr. Nebla has become synonymous with excellence in the ring. However, in 2019, Mr. Nebla's life took a dramatic turn when he suffered a heart attack during a match in Mexico City. The incident occurred on September 28, 2019, while competing in a tag team bout for Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, CMLL. Fortunately, medical staff and fellow wrestlers responded promptly, providing critical care and stabilizing his condition. After undergoing emergency surgery and a lengthy recovery period, Mr. Nebla made a remarkable return to the ring in 2020. Throughout his career, Mr. Nebla has held multiple championships in CMLL, including the CML World Light Heavyweight Championship and the CML World Tag Team Championship. While Mr. Nebla recovered fully, the same cannot be said about the last wrestler on our list, Jerry Twet. Jerry Twet, known to wrestling fans by his ring names The Wall and Malice, was a towering figure in professional wrestling. Born on December 27, 1966, in Ocean Grove, New Jersey, Jerry Twet's imposing stature and intense persona made him a standout performer in various wrestling promotions. It all began in the mid-1990s, where he trained under the guidance of wrestling legends such as Larry Sharpe. He made his debut in the independent circuit, where he quickly gained a reputation for his powerful and aggressive in-ring style. Twet's big break came when he signed with World Championship Wrestling, WCW, in 1999. His feuds with top stars such as Hulk Hogan, Sting, and Scott Steiner showcased his ability to hold his own against some of the biggest names in the industry. After WCW was acquired by WWE in 2001, Jerry Twet continued to wrestle on the independent circuit and in various international promotions. Unfortunately, on December 6, 2003, Jerry Twet was found unresponsive in his hotel room in Tokyo, Japan, where he was scheduled to compete in a wrestling event. He was pronounced dead at the age of 36. The cause of death was determined to be a heart attack caused by combined drug intoxication. Thanks for watching. Check other cards for more interesting videos.